Hello all, welcome to ISRK's Walk the Talk. Today we are in Hanyang University and you can see this magnificent building here. And today I'm going to talk with one of my good friends who is pursuing his doctoral study, Vikrant. Hello Vikrant.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, sure, man. So tell me Vikrant, how you have been?
Yeah, I've been good. I'm here in Korea for almost 2 years now. So yeah, today is a pleasant day. So it's a good time to talk with you.
So, it's been quite cold, right, for the past
Yeah.
few years, and the climate has been changing a lot.
It has been. This winter was particularly cold, and we got lots of snow in Seoul. So yeah.
So how was the pandemic has really affected the things, right? So were you having a lot of stress during this pandemic for working conditions and everything like that?
Well, for all of us, this pandemic was a new situation. So in the initial days, I was also not sure like how to handle it, but yeah, just by following the government guidelines, I think Korea handled the situation really well. So other than the traveling, aspect,
Yeah.
I think overall things were pretty good here. So we also did not see any major lockdown in Seoul. So that was a plus point.
So coming to the Korea, so you said that you started your doctoral course 2 years back, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you come to Korea? Like how did you got to know that there is like such an opportunity here? Could you elaborate us?
Yes, to answer that question, I'll have to talk about a bit of my background.
Sure.
So I completed my Bachelor's of Technology with honors in chemical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Varanasi, IIT Varanasi. So I joined the institute in 2014 and I completed my bachelor's in 2018. So while I was doing the bachelor's from the second year, the university had a new provision for the students who were interested in research to do exploratory projects and earn extra credits by doing lab hours so that you can get honors with your bachelor's. So it was a thing to like introduce research to the students. So whoever was interested, they used to do extra experiments in the labs under the professors in the department, and so you can earn extra credit and like get an honors. So from that early stage, I got interested in research, and so while I was going to complete my bachelor's, I was not that interested in pursuing a career directly in industry. So in the third year of my bachelor's, one of the postdocs in the lab where I was working in the chemical engineering department in IIT BHU. So I wanted to pursue a foreign research intern in my third year because I was very much getting aligned towards research. So he knew he had previously worked in Korea, so he suggested me to also look for opportunities in Seoul. So through him, I got to know about some of the professors, and one of them was Professor Ki-hyun Kim, who is my present supervisor. So in the third year, so I got to know about Professor Kim. So I sent him an email and asked him that whether there is an opportunity to do research in his lab as an intern. So the opportunity was good because Professor Kim was very supportive. So he said that there is option to visit him in the lab and do research. But first of all, I had to write some articles with him so that he could understand whether I was truly research oriented or not, because often undergrads are not. So
you were right.
So after that, I got to come to Korea and work with Professor Kim for about 3 months. So in that time, I was very much interested to work with Professor Kim because he seemed to be my type, if you can understand, right? You have to have coordination with your supervisor.
I see.
So I thought that this is the perfect spot for me. So after graduating in 2018, I just took admission here in integrated PhD course. So I'll be getting both masters and my PhD together. So that was a short description.
That's a very it's
Yeah.
very kind of you, and that's also a really good discussion. So that is how your journey came to Korea. Like you got in through internship, and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
you had a very good rapport with the professor,
Yeah.
and then finally you said, okay, I can work with him, and then you went on to work. Now actually you're working with him.
Yeah, that's right.
But having said that, like means there is also the thing that the scholarships, right? For example, say means Korea is expensive. Everybody knows about it. So how did you go with that, or did professor help you out, or you actually did some pre-study of like the type of scholarships that Korea provides?
So, when I was in my final year, so I had made up the mind to pursue research here in Professor Kim's lab at Hanyang University. So I was looking into the options to finance myself because most of us, as we know, like studying in a developed country and living there is very expensive, as you also pointed out. So for scholarships, there are two kinds of routes. Now, one type of scholarship is one which we apply for beforehand, before joining the university, and the other one is the one we can get after getting the admission. So there are two types of scholarships.
Okay.
So the first one I found in Korea, it's like every university has their own kind of scholarship they offer. Most universities have specific scholarships. Other than that, a general purpose one is the Korea government scholarship, so which you have to apply in the embassy, in the Korean embassy. It's like general purpose. Whether you are joining any kind of courses, you can get that one. But it's subject to, like, you have to apply in Korean embassy, and you have to get your host to like submit the documents from your end. Like it's like a recommendation that they think you are capable. So the embassy sees that you are applying in this university, and the university also thinks you are good, so they provide the scholarship from their end. The other one is the university based, like I talked about, and the other one is if you are going to do research in Korea, so definitely your research will be funded by the lab. So based on the lab's funding, you can also secure some kind of scholarship. So if I talk about my case, so I discussed with the professor, and so my project on which I was going to work on during my PhD, so it was already like being funded by the National Research Foundation. So already the fund was there to like host me. But other than that, for the paying the tuition fees and other expenses of the university, so I applied for HISP, which is a Hanyang International Scholarship Program.
I see.
So in this respect, Hanyang University is very much favorable because they provide 50% scholarship in the tuition fees to almost all the international students who apply to study here. At least that's for the grad school. I think it's the same for undergrads as well, but I primarily am knowledgeable about the grad school. So they provide 50% tuition fee waiver to all the international students who apply here. So in this respect, Hanyang University is very special because I'm aware that in other Korean universities, this is not the case. So
that makes Hanyang that special, right?
yeah, that's
In a way.
right. Yeah, you could say so. So 50% scholarship is a big deal.
Yes.
And then, so while I was joining, so I applied for 100% fee waiver through the HISP. So there are options actually. You can get 50% waiver. So that everybody is getting while you're applying if you are an international student. So then you can apply for 70% waiver and 100% waiver. So I applied for 100% waiver, and the criteria, it's not very specific, but they say that you have to have like good academics in your previous course. So based on that they select, and also if you have the professor's recommendation. If you have a professor's recommendation under whom you are going to work, so that's a very big plus point. So
Oh, thanks for that information. So I want to tell my viewers that NRF is National Research Foundation. It's one
Yeah.
of the biggest granting agencies in Korea, and also like a major chunk of government research projects come into that particular agency.
That's
So
right.
coming to again to the research part, like how do you find it different from our country? Like is it in terms of the how they pursue the research, or in terms of how they give the environment that you can do your research the way you want? So how much it is different from our country? Could you throw some light in it?
Yes, in the first place, research environment is Korea is very nice. The reason being, Korea is one of the only countries which spends more than 4% of its GDP on research. I checked actually, and it's like only Israel
Yeah.
spends more than Korea on R&D. So Korea is pretty much high up there. So the benefit of that is you have lots of funding in most research labs to do good quality research. So I think in this aspect, research in Korea is very open, and you can pursue, because in the end most things are governed by your financial freedom, like what kind of resources you can have to do research. And as you know, especially in science and technology, you have to have good financial backing to do high quality science. So in this aspect, I think Korea is very much favorable option to do such, because so like I said, the financial freedom is there. And the other thing is the Korean community actually focuses a lot on innovation. So if you look in the Bloomberg Innovation Index, so Korea has always been in the top. Right now it's also number 1 in the world
Yeah.
for the last more than 10 years. So the mindset here is very much research oriented. So I think it's a very good environment to work. And the other benefit is most universities and research labs have collaboration with the industry.
I see.
So ultimate goal of research is real world application, right?
Yeah.
For most things. So through that industrial university tie-ups, it's very much easier to get your research into the society to benefit the society. And so yeah, I think Korea is very much favorable option.
So I would like to ask you a question about the industrial university tie-up. So
Yeah.
like I have heard like major universities in Korea, including Hanyang,
That's
they
right.
have a very strong industrial university tie-up. Like a lot of industries send their R&D projects to university, and they make sure that that they have a very specification like how the things are and how you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of thing, like these kind of thing, we should introduce in our country also, which could be helpful both for our researchers?
Yeah,
and
of course. If I give you an example, so in the lab which I'm working, so we also regularly collaborate with other Korean tech giants like Samsung, LG, etc. And also in the university we have different tie-ups with Hyundai and others. So in that way, when industry directly collaborates with the academic setting, I think it's the best environment, especially for tech, to like scale up from the lab scale to the real world scale.
Okay.
Because ultimately the goal of the research is the societal benefit, right? So I think in this manner it helps a lot. So I think for your question, so yeah, I think definitely in our home country and other countries as well can learn a lot from this. And perhaps this could be one of the reasons why the innovation index is so high for Korea.
So I have
yeah.
to interject you there. So like from a student's perspective, like a
Yes.
student who is pursuing the doctoral study, and if he gets this kind of an environment,
Yes.
how much scale up his skill would be? Like in doctoral study or in even master studies, at the end of the day, the skill matters.
Yeah,
So
that's
do you
right.
think that this definitely help the students who are coming from our country or from any other developing country? The skill level will definitely up to the global standard.
Yeah, definitely, because for example, a young recently graduated student comes to, for example, in Korea and joins the university. So they have to take up various courses as well alongside doing their research. So So of course, if you have to succeed, like they will have to acquire lots of skill, including social communication and how you write and how you speak and how you communicate. Because in the end, we are in a like social setup, right? So you have to communicate everything, ranging from tech to science to language. So of course they will have to gather various skills, and I think university offers a various resources to take care of that.
When we talk about resources, so as you said, like there is a huge or a very high amount of expenditure both by the government and the universities on their doctoral students, and even the necessary instruments that is needed to pursue the research, right? So I would like to ask about, doesn't having all these things in order is not enough to have a quality of research, which brings to our next question, that the work culture itself. So how the work culture Korea is able to give you so that you become to that global standard?
Yes. So if I may be so free to say, like there has been a stereotype for Asian culture. For example, Japan or Korea, like long work hours.
Yes.
That has been a big stereotype throughout the West and also in other countries about Asia. But after coming here, I saw that at least in academia or in a research setup, this may not necessarily be true, because everybody is like working for flexible hours, right?
Yeah.
For example, in my lab also, there is no fixed hours to work. You like, there is your project, there is your work, and they all want to get your work progressed, but it's not like a fixed time period in which you have to work.
So it's kind of distributing your responsibility. So you are responsible for that work, and you should be able to complete it by the stipulated time.
Yeah, that's right. Like, from what I have observed, it's like you have a project and you have to make at least this much progress, like you set a goal, and then you just work towards it within a flexible time period. It's not like you have to.
But now, since we have talked a lot about work, but then there is a social aspect also. So how about living in Korea? Like, how much it is different, and what are the necessary things that a person or a student should keep in mind when they are living here?
Yes, so leaving your home country and coming to live in other country is always very challenging. Because first of all, it's like a cultural shock, and secondly, of course, you are far away from your loved ones. So of course it takes a toll, but the society here, I found people to be very compassionate and very kind. So and it's also very clean. Like, Korea is, I think, one of the cleanest places on the planet. So, so it's like a different world altogether. But once you like get the feel of it, you get used to it, and of course, the pollution level is very low. I think so. It feels really good, and so for the cultural aspect, I think like throughout the world, the Korean culture is like revered. Like it's known for its cultural heritage, and in Seoul also you can find many cultural spots, and it's like a hybrid. It's mixed with the urban environment, so it's a very unique culture. I think it's a very like friendly and accessible, and all the things are available in the city. So I think it's very easy to live here in many aspects. So once you get used to it, I think it's a very nice place. At least I enjoyed very much. So yeah.
That's a very good way to.
I hope that answers you.
Yeah, definitely it answers me. But I have to ask one more specific question with that thing itself.
Yes.
You see, when a students enter into the lab, it's a completely new atmosphere, right? And as you have said, for the global standard to be met, you go through some rigorous kind of training. But I want to also ask, like, when because here in Korea, the communication, the English is not the first form of communication, right? So how the student or the new student should cope up with that, and what are your takes on it? Like, how did you were able to cope up with that?
Yeah, well, first of all, the English issue, it's like English, of course, is the global language of communication, and also the research we publish, it's all in English. So if you are joining an international school in Korea, like an international course or international university, the focus is on the English language. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so all the courses are in English, so you need not worry about the communication gap, at least where your courses and academics are concerned. So it's not a problem. But yes, you live in the Korean society, and the Korean language is prevalent here, as is almost everywhere the case. For example, if you go in Europe, you go in Germany and France, so of course you will get to hear the local languages and not English. English only if you go in North America or in some place like Australia, maybe you get to hear English as the primary language. So I think it's the same as any other place. For my take on it, some people are very much intrigued by the culture, so they enjoy to so they eventually develop a liking for the language and get into it and study and learn the language, so that they can integrate with the society. I know many people like that who have taken up enough Korean to speak and perhaps even write or understand. But I think for living here, it's not mandatory, because at least if you live in a metropolitan area like Seoul, so you need not worry that much. Once you get the hang of it, you can at least the younger generation they can speak well.
Okay.
At least in my experience. So one need not worry that much. Like, my suggestion would be, if you are truly interested in the culture and language, so even I think I've seen from my perception, the Korean government is trying to develop the Korean culture and language and propagate it around the world. Like, you can see many Korean cultural centers around different parts of the world.
Thank you, Vikrant, for all this, for doing this with us, and also giving a lot of insight about how the things are here and how we can actually inspire the coming students to take up research as well as lead a very comfortable life. It has been really pleasure talking with you, and I hope we will meet soon again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having
sure.
me. I had a good time.
Thank you.